Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Season 2, Episode 1, Undercover. I apologize for just going complete Batman right there. But in this episode, it picks up 6 months after the Season 1 finale. Jake Peralta's undercover with the FBI. He's no longer at the NYPD. So the FBI is having him go undercover as a mafia guy to take down these, 16 mob bosses. Holy shit, 16 mob bosses. Yeah, you can't do that in a half-hour sitcom. You can't show him take down 16 mob bosses. That would take forever. So he's talking to one of the mob guys. The NYPD is there. They are, backing him up in case something happens because they're hot on the trail of these guys as well. And Jake gives a signal word, and then the NYPD is like, okay, go in. Take Jake, bring him back here, arrest all of the remaining mob bosses. So they do just that. They got Jake over their shoulder. He's kicking and screaming. He's like, no, let me go. Oh, hey, Captain Holt. Long time no see. Captain Holt, of course, he's not really thrilled to see him because he's not smiling. But I guess, there's a sense of, they missed each other. But Captain Holt still doesn't smile. So Jake comes back to the NYPD in the Brooklyn's 99th precinct. Boyle's there. Everybody's there. Boyle's like, hey guys, why don't we give Jake the silent treatment? Let's ignore him when he comes in. And then here comes Andy Samberg. He's like, hey guys, I'm back. And then Boyle's like, oh my god, Jake, you're back. And everybody's looking at Boyle and they're like, didn't you just say give him the silent treatment? So he's back in the NYPD. He goes to see Captain Holt in Holt's office. Holt's in there meeting with an FBI agent and they're like, so Jake, you arrested all 16 of these mob bosses, but one boss escaped from prison, so now there's only 15 out of the 16 locked up. So Jake's pissed. He wants to go back undercover, but the FBI's like, no, we'll take care of it, even though they probably won't because the FBI doesn't do shit. So Jake's like, nope, I'm going to take him down. I'm going to have one of my guys in here help me. And out of all people, he has to pick Boyle. Boyle screws everything up. And Boyle has probably the funniest line in this episode in the whole show. It's like they're about to go undercover. You know, Jake looks like the mob boss. He's got his hair all slicked back. He's dressed like an Italian mobster. And then he's got Boyle in the car with him. And he's like, Boyle, you better not screw this up like you do with every other operation. And Boyle's like, well, tell me how I screw this up. He's like, well, you just don't screw it up. You just weird me out sometimes. He's like, well, how do I weird you out? And do a flashback of Boyle saying something completely stupid. It was so funny. He's just like, yeah, there's a lot more where that came from. It was from my wet mouth. I was just dying. And Jake's just like, that was really weird and sexual. Don't say that again. And it was weird and sexual, but it was hilarious. So they go to this mob boss's apartment. They meet his hot-ass chick that he is banging. Holy shit, she was gorgeous. And she's like, no, he's taking a plane out of the country. You're going to have to catch the plane. It leaves in 10 minutes. They get to the airport. They're like, no, that plane left an hour ago. You're too late. You're screwed. Jake's all bummed out. He's like, oh, well, I guess I can't do anything now. It's like, other than go to my own welcome back party and try and bang Santiago for the 30 millionth time in this show. I guess that's what I have to look forward to. While you're probably wondering what happens in the other half of this episode. The other half of this episode is hilarious. Terry Crews does a really good job in this episode. So we find out Captain Holt set up different scenarios because he's coming under heavy scrutiny from this evil ass commissioner lady, I guess. So he's setting up all these different scenarios that he wants Terry Crews to carry out through the precinct. He'll be walking around with a clipboard and it'll say lost woman or something, and he'll act out the part and the precinct will have to help him out somehow. And you see Diaz, she's pissed, she's flabbergasted, she's like, why the hell do we have to do this whole... And then Santiago's, of course, being the obvious kiss-ass that she is, she's like, no, let's just do it for Captain Holt. Another funny scene, it's better, like I said, I don't like giving out the jokes. If you watch my Big Bang Theory review, I don't like giving out the jokes because I want you guys to be amazed, but there's just some jokes I have to say, and this one's gonna not be as funny when I say it. It'll be funnier when you watch it on TV, but Terry Crews is acting as a 7-year-old. It's one of those scenarios again, and they're building a big Lego tower, whatever the hell it is. It looks like a big Lego Death Star, if the Death Star were a tower. And Santiago's having fun building these Legos. Diaz is bored to shit out of her mind. And then all of a sudden, Terry Crews just smacks the tower away and acts like a 7-year-old and is like, these toys suck! So they take him on the big bouncy house thing, and then Captain Holt, is sitting in his office and he sees his coffee moving, and he's like, what the hell is that? Goes outside, he finds him bouncing, he deflates the whole thing, and he's like, look, the only reason why I'm making you do all these scenarios is because I'm under heavy scrutiny from this commissioner lady who I think... Now, don't quote me on this. I think this is who Eva Longoria is going to play. Yeah, she was cast in the show. I remember her, I remember them saying something, she was going to be, some, police officer or something. So I'm thinking she's the commissioner, but, I would rather have her be a desperate housewife. So Season 2, Episode 1, Undercover. I really gotta stop doing the Batman voice. People probably think I'm a pedophile now because I'm doing that. But this episode, it's funny, it's got good dialogue, it's an entertaining episode. I really like the scenarios that Captain Holt is playing out for these guys in the precinct in case that bitch lady played by Eva Longoria, I think, comes by. But you have the undercover thing, which kind of ends kind of quick. Jake comes back to the NYPD a little bit too quick. I feel like maybe that's something this show could benefit from. Maybe if this was a 2-part season premiere, or if all the episodes of the show, if this was an hour-long sitcom, I think this show would be a lot better. It's still a really good show, but I think it would be a lot better. Like I said, I liked what happened in the precinct. I liked what happened when he went back undercover, even though it ended kind of quick. He did go back undercover later in the episode. I like the fact that they're opening up new avenues. We might see Eva Longoria in this season as the police commissioner, I think. Like I said, don't quote me. I think she's playing the police commissioner. I'm excited to see her and Captain Holt butt heads if she is the police commissioner. I think they would have really good chemistry on screen because Eva Longoria is probably a bitch, but she is probably a desperate housewife who is desperate. I just want to see Captain Holt smile. I want to have him go drinking with Jake, and Jake have him be miserable from Eva Longoria, go drinking with Jake, have Jake give him 10 beers, and then have him smile. Yeah, not as creepy as a smile like that, but this episode, good start to Season 2. Not as good as some of the other episodes. It's not a top 10 episode, but it's still funny, still enjoyable. I'm excited to see where they go from here with Captain Holt mentioning that commissioner person, or I think it was Eva Longoria who's going to be playing her. Like I said, third time I'm saying this, don't quote me on that. But tune in next week for my review of the second episode of Season 2 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And as always, hit the subscribe button for more reviews on music, movies, video games, and TV shows.
Marco, make us proud, have a son. Salute! Hey, I love the spray tan, Joey. Hey, let me take a picture of you. I want to show this color to the guy who stains my deck. Congratulations, Tony. It's a beautiful night.
Hey, you're one of us now.
You know how long I've been waiting for one of you old men to kiss me?
He's a good kid.
I gotta say, out of the four of you, I think Vito's the best kisser.